All right, this is a screencast of an aging report in Microsoft Excel. And what you will need to do is get your template typed in like I have right here. And then remember that you can do features such as the fill to fill the invoice number. So if you're on the home ribbon up here, and then you go to fill, and you're going to fill in a series, and you're going to do column, and the step value is going to be 1. The stop value is going to be 41033. So you put that in, and that will fill the invoice number for you. It's just a handy feature if you don't want to type in all those numbers. Now, Microsoft Excel is going to let you subtract dates to get days unpaid. So what you're going to do is you're always going to pull your current date from cell C4 and only C4. So remember that when you want to tell the computer to take something from one cell and only one cell, you'll use the $sign. So the formula starts with an equal sign, and we're going to say $C, $4. And that tells the computer that's an absolute cell reference, and it tells the computer that we're taking the date from C4 and only C4. And then we're going to subtract from the invoice date, which is sitting in B9. Now B9, we want to update when we copy it. We want it to become B10 and then B11. So we don't put the $signs around B9. So you do that and you hit enter. Every once in a while when you do that, you're going to get a funky looking date number. And if that happens, just hit your comma button. It didn't happen here, but it might happen to you. And then hit the decrease decimal button to get yourself back to 52. Then you can put your white cross in your black box, hold down your left mouse and pull, and that will pull those days down. Now I've told the computer to center those numbers, and because it didn't center, I'm going to need to go through the back door. So I'm going to right mouse, I'm going to say format cells, and I'm going to tell the computer this is a number with 0 decimals and that I want the alignment for the horizontal area here to be center, and then center. And now those numbers will actually center. So go through the back door. Now we are going to have a 2% late fee if the days unpaid are greater than 30. And if the days unpaid aren't greater than 30, there's going to be no late fee. So we're going to start with an if statement, and you have never done this before, but you're going to do an equal sign, if, left parenthesis, if days unpaid are sitting in cell D9. So when you do D9, that means if days unpaid are greater than 30, this comma means then you're going to take the amount that's owed, which is sitting in E9, and multiply it by the late fee of 2%, written 0.02. It's written like 2 cents, 0.02. This next comma is if not, the late fee is 0. So what this formula is saying is if D9 is days unpaid. If days unpaid is more than 30, the comma is then. We're going to take the amount that's owed, which is in E9, and multiply it by the 2% late fee. If not, that late fee is 0. So you're going to do that, and you're going to get a number, 1050. Put your white cross in your black box, hold down your left mouse, and pull. Notice there is no late fee for Ross Smith, Chris Collin, and Charles Hicks, and that's because those people have not owed for more than 30 days. They've owed for less than 30 days. Now the amount due, the late fee is a penalty, so we've got to take the amount that is due. So we'll start this formula with an equal sign, and the amount is in cell E9, so we're going to take E9 plus F9, and that way we will get our answer. So the amount that was due plus the penalty, which is the late fee, is going to give the amount that people owe. Don't subtract the late fee, because then everybody would be paying late because they owed less money. The late fee is added, it's a penalty. So then you copy those down. And you can see in, the amount due, there is no dollar sign in the formula because we do want those formulas to change when we copy them. And then for the totals, it's just a nice normal formula, equals sum, left parenthesis. We're adding from E9 to E17. So we're starting at E9. We're going to go down to E17. And then you can just copy that across. Pay attention to your numbers. Did you hit your comma button so that the numbers have the dollars and the cents? Notice here the customer is pretty close to the invoice date. So I'm going to take my customer and I'm going to center it just so it doesn't look quite so smushed with the invoice date. I've made sure that my headings were all the same form, same use of caps. I did all caps here. They're all centered. They're all bolded. Make sure that you are really paying attention to how your spreadsheet looks, and remember that beauty is important as accuracy here. So really look over to get the single and the double rule. You're going to block your area, go up to your border button, and do the top and double bottom border. So this is how you do your spreadsheet. For the days unpaid, you subtracted the current date from the invoice date. The current date was absolute because we want to continue to pull our current date from cell C4 and only C4. The B9, when we copy our formula, will update to B10, and then it will update to B11. So we didn't want dollar signs around that. The late fee, again, we were saying if days unpaid, D9, is greater than 30, the comma stands for then. We're going to take the amount that's owed, which is E9, and multiply it by the late fee of 2%. If not, which is what this comma is, the late fee is 0. Then the amount due is just the amount plus the late fee. So hopefully that will help you figure out how to do aging reports on your own. Good luck, and hopefully I'll be back soon. Bye.